so to speak, which we have here, is an opportunity for us to just, I suppose this is supposed to be somewhat informal, okay? So it's not like, I'm standing here and talking to you. You can actually interrupt me at any point in time that you feel you want to say something, because we're actually having a conversation here. So, thank you all for coming. As you can see the stats on the screen, and our faculty, we have overall, I think slightly over 1,078 reps so far, and 261 reps come from the EC. You have also run, for the senior post reps here, you have run and attended 40 forums, 5 boards of study, and 1 faculty board, which I was at with a couple of VFCs here. And you've represented the views of over 4,000 students. And also, we've also had the opportunity to elect your deputy faculty chairs, who I'll be asking to introduce themselves in a bit. So, all in all of you have been very busy doing this, coupled with your studies as well. So, I thank you all. So for today, I'm just going to go through the agenda. I'm just going to call on, first off, I'll call on the deputy faculty chairs to introduce themselves, and then we'll proceed, straight to the agenda, the main agenda of today, which is semesterization and student viewpoints about it. I suppose not everybody here understand what that means. Does anybody here know what semesterization is about? Well, you do. Do you mind just, saying something to...
Okay, semesterization is where you do a bunch of modules all in one term. And
Christina, head of computing. I'm Liz Smith, operations director for the non-academic side of our business.
Okay, I'm Gary O'Neill. I'm representing civil engineering, architecture and building.
Hi, I'm Rosella Brennan. I'm the faculty registrar.
And I'm Ray Farmer. I'm associate dean academic.
Okay, fantastic. So at this point, you guys have taken down your points on the sheets. I'm going to ask you guys to, because this is sort of an accountability session, so you might want to start throwing your questions to your heads of departments. They're here for you to slaughter.
Be gentle.
There's a collegiate approach. Pardon? Yeah. Which one?
Seems kind of confusing.
Yeah. So just a question.
Have you spent any money yet?
Okay.
Have you spent any money? Have you spent any money yet?
I have.
But I mean, you're approving the money.
Okay, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm actually now. I decided I'm going to take this point by point. So I'm going to start with the placement here. I'll read out some of the things you guys wrote here, and we're going to have a discussion with the heads of department. So here I can see more specific placement rules in gaming or in general. That's for computing. More specific placement rules in gaming or in general. Who wrote this down? Do you want to say something on this?
More specific placement. I had a brief look at all the EC features, and I saw a lot of the placements weren't really for the gaming sector. And we did have Swift come in to do their presentation. It was great, absolutely fantastic, but when we actually go to EC features and say, oh, what do we do? It turns out we have to actually presentation, not EC features. So I was just wondering if there was a way to just combine it all in one, as well as have more specified like registered, recommended courses that you may have done to go to these career paths.
So that's, I understand, is more to easy futures to advertise specific games?
Yeah, more
placements?
specific in general, as in like for a lot more of the courses, not just.
To say which one is most suitable for which course, is this what?
Okay, let's just say if we're doing like software animation or
Yeah.
if we're doing engineering,
Yeah.
things like that, physics building,
Mm.
then if I was to go to the job development now, there's quite a lot in Leamington area, but there's no real placements listed in
Well,
the
I
EC
think that
features.
would probably very difficult. I mean, obviously I can't speak on behalf of the EC features, but what I think is when you apply for placements, you have to use your transferable skills, your skills in software development, and apply for as many placements as possible, so you increase your chances to be successful. That would be my recommendation. That what I would do if I'm in your place. But yes, we can ask, if possible, EC futures to, and we can work with them to basically say, okay, maybe this is more suitable for games. But again, I don't want people to feel restricted. They should apply to anything, in my view.
I mean, in general in computing, I guess, and it's probably true in all subjects, that you don't necessarily get a placement that is exactly in line with everything you're doing. And one of the things, say, for computing is if you can get a role that gives you an opportunity to do software development, that's probably the most important thing. If you're games, ideally if it's games, but in the last analysis, if it's software development using the sorts of technologies that you'd expect to use in the game industry, that would help a lot. Clearly, EC Futures do their best to get as wide a range of jobs as possible. Some industries, some companies are less willing to take on placement students than others, is one of the issues. I guess.
So going back to the point about where it's just like, I didn't mean like one course for one placement. I mean like, for example, software development for micro in Manchester would be, you'd have people recommended for this would be, I don't know, engineering, computers, electronic systems, as well as computing, as well as gaming as well. There'll be a list of recommended courses, not just one.
We'll talk to EC Futures about how best to do that. I mean, it's an interesting
Can I
suggestion.
take your name?
Oh, Tyra.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
students go to all kinds of placements. For example, I had a student from multimedia who was in GE Capital, and he was doing completely different things than what he was doing in multimedia computing course. But he was very happy there. After that, he went to Credit Suisse, so now he has a job already. So the students have to explore all the possibilities.
Absolutely, yeah, recommended doesn't mean has to.
No, I can understand. I mean, you want a bit more guidance, really, is what you're looking for. Yeah.
There's a lot of people, it's like, with one of my friends who came out of Preston, he just went straight to Micron, and there was no, well, his university didn't advertise placements in games, and it was a bit difficult because he'd love to do games, but he really hasn't the opportunity now, so.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Okay, thank you for that. No, we will take that forward to EC Futures.
Okay, another question from placement, well, I'm going to start with, someone wrote, one compulsory meeting about placement year to determine if students want to run, and also the option for postgrad internship instead of dissertation.
I'll comment on the last one. I mean, we have looked at the possibility of providing some sort of internship in place of the postgraduate taught dissertation, and the business school certainly do that in some of their postgraduate courses. And we have an opportunity to do that in some small number of cases at the moment for our existing postgraduate courses. One of the difficulties is trying to actually get projects that companies would find suitable to do, which would only last, say, a couple of months, because typically that's how long a postgraduate taught student would be doing. However, the university is very mindful of the importance of increasing the opportunity for postgraduate taught students to get some sort of work experience. We're looking at other vehicles at the moment as well. We're looking at other ways of doing it. So that's something that's on our agenda, and we're exploring how we can actually increase the number of students who can take postgraduate taught internships. But it's a bit limited at the moment, I understand, but it's certainly on the agenda. Does that answer? I mean, I can't guarantee it this year, obviously, but which course are you on?
Automotive.
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 Yeah, that probably is. It doesn't exist in the program at the moment, I think.
No.
It doesn't. Not for automotive. But
Yeah. So I just wanted to see.
but you could come and have a chat with Ashley afterwards about work experience generally and ultimately.
Apart from the fact that I'm going in 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah, well, very well aware of that. We've asked all of the course teams to actually produce some sort of assessment map, assessment schedule for their courses so that they make sure that assessments are spread out appropriately. I mean, there is inevitably some bunching of assessments towards the end of a module, whether it be delivered semesterised or long thin, because people want to assess material. But we're making sure that we spread those out as much as we can, and we're looking at making sure that students have access to and to know about the assessments right at the beginning of the semester, so that they can actually plan those on effectively. And that's going to be one of the requirements next year.
Okay, anyone wants to say something before I move on to the next?
I don't know what the rule is, but I feel like it should be assessed on module, because when you're experimenting, you also have to consider that the students' time and money. So there's some students who may not work for, and they'll feel like it's wasted their time and money because they're the ones going to have to pay for a retake here, for
Sure.
example.
I mean, we're not experimenting with you. I mean, semesterisation is not an experiment. It is based upon lots of experience at other institutions and this institution, just to say that. And I mean, the point you make about informing students on placement about changes is a good one, and I suspect we don't do that as well as we should, and we'll take that back as being something we need to deal with. I think that's valid.
Yeah.
There have been some concerns from students regarding staff contact hours.
Right.
But as it is, right now before semesterization, most people don't have that much contact hours like module leaders and the new tutors. They're gonna have to like deal with lecturing assistants who often don't really answer the questions properly or are a bit confused about it themselves. So with semesterization, I'm guessing that the staff will have a lot more workload.
No.
Okay. So
It'll be different, but the workload will be the same, more or less.
yes, and the other thing is students said contact hours and regarding maybe resits.
Yeah.
So say if someone failed a prerequisite module in the second semester, how does that work?
They retake that in the normal resit degree.
Yeah, whether you fail a semester 1 or a semester 2 module, you'll always do the resit for those at the resit period at the end of June, beginning of July. So that's the same for all students across the university at undergraduate level.
If they fail that and they need to retake the module, say it's a prerequisite for maybe third year, first semester, but they fail it in second year, second semester. So the module doesn't run second year, first semester. So do they have to wait for an entire year to do that at the end, then come to third year? Or do they do other stuff and move some third year, second semester module to first semester?
Each department's different. So some departments allow what we call mixed diets. So they'll allow you to do that 20 credit repeat in some other modules where it's not a prerequisite for. Some departments need the students to go part-time to do that one module, which if it is a semester 2 module, they will have to wait until semester 2 to start the teaching. And then once they've passed it, they'll then progress fully at the following year to the next level of their course.
So it varies. I mean, we have to look at it on very, very frequently on a student-by-student basis and see what the mix of modules are and to see what the issue is with that particular failed module. But the semesterisation wouldn't increase the length of time somebody has to wait in actual fact, because if it was a prerequisite that you had to pass, you'd still have to take a year out, whether it be with one semester or for the whole year.
One last thing, especially it's quite common, like the international students especially. Other universities, maybe not in England, they have 3 semesters.
Yes.
So the third semester is like extra. You can do it and shorten the length of your degree.
Yes.
Is it possible that could happen here?
That's something that is talked about on occasions. It isn't happening at the moment, but who knows? Certainly, certain parts of the university do have shorter versions of degrees, but not generally at the moment. But it's something that is always.
Is there a possibility though later on?
It might happen in the future, but certainly not in the next few years, I imagine. But it might happen in the future. Might well happen.
That's a question.
Oh, sorry, it was just on the previous point, but I'll ask it next time.
Okay, fine. So we're moving on to the next point on the agenda, which is the rep system. Questions. Okay, someone asks, it's difficult to talk to all the students Do you want to expand on that?
It's difficult to get around and speak to every individual student on a course because when we were doing, I was trying to do feedback for one of the forums, and I was trying to go around all the tutorial groups, but that was just me because there was no way that we could speak to a student without taking time out of lecture time, and there'd be no guarantee they'd even be in the building if we tried to find them outside of lectures.
What? Have any didn't it occur to bring have a what I always send out forms
where they were allowed to go to. So the home students had a whole trip, and the international students never had any.
Were the international students explicitly excluded from it, or how did that work?
They just told us, don't come unless you have a British passport.
Well, I have to say that's the very first I've heard of that, and I'll look into that in much more detail.
It's a
I'm not
2-1.
particularly happy about that.
And when we asked the lecturer, you know what he said?
What?
He said the coach cost £500.
Yeah, but well, okay, I'll take that on board.
International students felt like they paid £1,000 a year.
Which course are you on?
Aerospace technology.
Aerospace technology.
Third year.
Yeah, third year.
That must be the second year, not.
I know there will be a trip, but we was keeping it quiet until in the new year. Is all I'm going to say. I think it's the third year.
Okay.
That's the third year.
Okay.
I've coughed up for it.
Well, there is a trip planned.
There's a trip
Yeah, but
planned.
they're saying they feel like the union owes them for that trip. Because they didn't get to go anywhere, and they didn't have any lectures that day, they were just sitting at home. I'm saying we were sitting at home, just doing nothing.
Okay. I will look into that, and I can't change history sadly, but I will look into that.
We'll make sure we don't make the same mistake.
Yes.
Okay, give us a free trip.
Yeah, man.
All that.
We might well have a trip coming up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so this issue's been brought up with the BIT forum before, and all that I think about is you're not at university to go on trips, really. You're here to learn. When you're going on trips, you're not actually learning.
Royal Navy's Fleet Tower Museum, which is on the same site as their airbase, as one of the Royal Navy air bases, and I was looking into having a tour around their airbase as part of the trip, but on discovery that we'd have to exclude international students because of security clearance reasons, we decided to leave that part of the trip out of it. So that's probably the reason why you might have not been able to go on the trip last year, is because of security reasons.
I know
not being able to
the
get security clearance in
reason.
time.
I know the reason. That's not the problem.
The problem
The
is we should
is,
be
why didn't they choose somewhere we could go? Why didn't they give us an extra trip for international students alone, like they did with the home students?
I understand. I do understand that we will look at that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole point. And this wasn't a fun trip; it was an educational trip.
We've got
That's it, man.
workshops, or design workshops as part of the trip.
So they have a whole new experience that we never got, and we're probably never going to get.
We will come back on that. We will come back to you on that.
Okay. Another point here. Someone raised the issue of non-attendance. What do you mean non-attendance?
Yeah, that was part of ours. Well, we have, 260 odd reps in just the EC faculty. We've got maybe 40 here, and there are still people who regularly just don't turn up to our reps meetings. So,
looks good in the CV
there
there.
that we can really do to make people turn up more.
Some advantages run during this period, there's a few advantages.
Okay,
Also-
but in which case,
That's fine.
is that
I
what
just
you know?
want to I missed the first one.
On a Wednesday, obviously everything's going on because everyone's still got lectures, but I had 3 meetings today. So the reason, my non-attendance has been completely due to the fact I'm a hall rep and I'm a campaign leader and I'm also a business entrepreneur. So I think, perhaps shouldn't necessarily be talking about non-attendance for everyone, but perhaps maybe moving the time if it's inconvenient for other people, but also to be that you can only be a course rep if you are going to be committed, because it does seem like it's very easy to get on to be a rep, but not necessarily pay enough attention to what's going on.
What do you call them?
My late induction.
But not just your late induction, because you were setting up some evening events for international students.
Oh, yes.
Postgraduate talk,
Yeah, so we have late induction, and that is mainly our late arrivals are a lot of international students who have struggled to get visas and things and getting out on time. And attendance, that was quite low, and it was sort of prescribed as a mandatory session because it's key. And Ellis was at the start of every session to really plug the student union system. But, out of maybe 500 late students who missed induction week. I've probably only seen 100 over the first 4 weeks, so that was quite sad. But we'll try every year to spread the message and make sure they come. And then we did a postgraduate social evening where Ellis helped me run and some colleagues in mid-October. So to help, you know, they might have already made circles of friends, but it was about wider circles of friends, learning about the student union, learning about global leaders and having a bit of a social interaction. We had a quiz night and things. And again, it was, you know, I could only accommodate maximum of 100, and I only had about 40 turn up on the night. So we are trying, and if you have any other ideas, I'll gladly take them and see what we can do each year. But it's something I'd really like us to improve on, but I definitely haven't cracked it quite yet.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. A round of applause for yourselves. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to call on Selina Fletcher to talk.
Sorry, Ray just had a meeting to do. So I don't know about that.
So I'm calling on Selina Fletcher to come and talk to us about responsible futures, and in a short while we'll be out of here. So.
Thank you very much. I do apologise for running a bit late.
More spaces than people, we need to do it because of Ron. Anyway, we're going to have a small hustings, which means that Laura Jane, and is it Jordan you're first?
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan, sorry Jordan, are going to do 30 seconds of hustings, and then you can ask questions if you really wish.
Can we be under time?
You can be under time. I'm working out the timer, which is going to take me longer. And then we will ask you to vote. Obviously, it's a secret ballot. You will then pass the papers back to me, and we will announce the winner tomorrow. Any questions? I'm going to ask.
If there are 5 positions, won't they both won't they both win?
Depends if Ron gets above one of the candidates. Right. Any other questions? I'm going to ask Jordan to go first because he's first on the ballot sheet.
Okay, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you could listen to Jordan, the 30 seconds begins now.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Jordan and I'm from Hong Kong and I'm first year student of Aerospace Systems Engineering. Coming from Hong Kong, I'm aware from some of the very many difficulties that international students have to face. For example, language barrier, which we have mentioned previously, is the most common problem that we encounter as international students. And this is the reason I've come forward today to be your student counselor. Not just listening to international students, but to listen to all of you.
Thank you, Jordan. That's very good. Right, okay. Good man, give a clap. Right, and now we come to Laura Jane. Your 30 seconds begins now.
Hi, I'm Laura Jane Curtis. I'm taking maths and stats. I applied for this position because I'm going to use the vegan card. If anyone doesn't know me, I'm vegan, which means that I love everything, I love everyone, I love sustainability, and I love putting a smile on everybody's face. I'm already a campaign leader, I'm already a hall rep leader as well, so you know I'm committed, I'm determined, I'm passionate, and I would love to be a student counsellor.
And that was under. Okay, give a clap. Can I ask you then that you now...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Close question.
Hang on. Can I just ask you, you get
thank you.
ballot paper yourself, because you can vote for yourself. Okay. We have had people that vote for others when they're the candidate. No, I recommend that you vote for yourself. But there you go. That's your choice. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of questions. Can you tell me who you are, what course you're on, and who the question is to? And obviously the gentleman there is eager.
Yeah.
Go.
So my name is Tyrone. I'm from Gibbs Tech, first year. Jordan,
Yeah.
Why did you apply and what drives you?
Sorry.
Why did you apply and what drives you?
The second question.
What drives you?
What drives you? Okay, the motivation you mean.
Yeah.
Because I have certain experience I want to dedicate to the uni, like to gain more experience to like communicating to other students. Like when I was in high school, I'm part of the student union as well. So I've got certain experience needed to communicate, to be the medium between the school and the students. So I think I can fulfill the expectation of being a student councillor, and I think I want to dedicate more to my uni to make it, to improve the environment. It's also improving the quality of education as well.
Lord Jane, would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, same question.
Okay.
And don't say vegan.
Okay.
You played it.
Okay, so what drives me? So why do I apply and what drives
Why
me?
and what drives you?
Because I would consider myself like I'm just so passionate about everyone being the best version of themselves. It's no sort of more complicated thing. It's just as simple as I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to have the best life possible that they can have. And, you know, I don't think there could be any person more perfect for the job than someone who's going to be endlessly passionate for the cause. So.
Okay, very good. Can I have one more question? Matt.
I am Matt. I'm a second year BRT student, already a student councillor. What do you already know about student councillor, about the position as being a student councillor?
Who's that to?
It's to both of them.
Right, I'll start with Laura Jane this time because Jordan had the first time last time.
I know there's much more significant outreach to students, so you're not just going to attend here, you're actually going to be more going out and doing this kind of thing. I also know that you're going to partake more in meetings as far as I knew in the specification. And I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be a good one.
Okay, Jordan?
For me, it's like student councillors is like voicing the opinions of students in our faculty, in engineering faculty. So it's like improving the environment, the quality of education of our faculty, and we can contribute to the student union. When we make some decision, we can voice the opinions, the point of view of our students, so that to improve the university.
Okay, I will take it there. Clap for them, good job there. Okay, did I ask you now that you vote on the forms? You can put an X if you prefer just one candidate, or you can vote in order of preference up to 3. Off you go, and then I will collect in the receipts. Okay, and then after that's done, we've just got one final thing.
Show you. Thank you. I'm here to ask for your help. We have a new education strategy going to 2021, so from 2015 to 2021. The first draft was approved last Friday by the management of the university. It goes to the Board of Governors in February, and between now and then we want to get student views on the new strategy. Now, so far I've had views from 824 people from September through to early December. I cannot, with the best will in the world, speak to 20,000. I mean, 824 wasn't bad. But, now, what I wanted to ask, and I've just been to Art and Design, and they said a definite no-no about going into classes, because people don't want their classes disrupted. I've got an individual online survey. I've got a shared Google Doc that I was going to ask you to take to people so that you can literally stand there and say, right, how many people here? 17. Okay, tell me what you think, tell me what you think, tell me what you think. Click send, and I can then analyse the results. Now, Art and Design students have just suggested they would rather that student reps stood in open spaces in their faculty buildings and captured people that way. How
like we're trying to corner them into giving an opinion.
Yes, we are. Because I don't want inertia But the challenge is that we introduce something in September and people go, oh, I didn't know you were doing that.
I take it using the fire alarm is out of the question.
Unfortunately,
You can have a drill.
Yeah,
Doc told us.
but
Hands up.
yeah, are there ways in which you as reps can help encourage people to voice an opinion on the new strategy?
What is
and
the
are
new
there any
strategy?
ways? Well, that's what I'm saying. I've got copies which I can send out. We can put it on Moodle so everybody can see it. But I've framed 2 or 3 things that are what we expect, what our students can expect from education, and what we expect from our students. And I suppose more than anything else, I want you to look at that and say, I agree, I disagree. It's literally 5-point like a scale.
Isn't it worth,
And is there anything else that we've missed out?
isn't it worth just putting it on a splash page on Moodle or something? You know, you have
We do all that as well. With the but for example, every week, staff who are also committed to this process, every week in October, they were sent out an online survey, which literally was a maximum of 3 questions. It would have taken no more than 12 minutes to complete. One week I had 8 responses, and it was available to 2,000 staff. So it's very, very difficult to get comments back. Would you be prepared to stand in spaces at some point during January for half an hour to capture information?
You said capture it. I just imagine it through.
Is that you mean like standing there?
You literally stand there. We did a couple. We did open sessions, but you literally stand there with your smartphone or whatever you've got with the Google Doc open, and you say, right, 2 of you, what do you think? Yep, do you agree? No, do you agree? Anything else? Thank you, bye.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that as long as I'm not actually capturing them, because that's so
People aren't willing to give the time. I mean, like,
I know, that's the challenge,
people
isn't
just
it?
say, no, I'm busy. But what you could do is get people to go around rather than we're in one spot.
Yeah.
We get people who are sat down for lunch.
Oh, that's a very good
You want
idea.
it, yeah,
that
that's exactly
works
what I was
very
gonna
well. I
say.
was in wherever the nurses are. We
That's exactly
did
what
a
I was
similar
gonna say.
strategy. I was talking. There were lots of nursing students wherever nurses go and have their lunch, and we literally just went and sat at different tables and went, "Hi, what do you think?
Yeah.
Hi, what do you think?"
Yeah, I'm quite happy to do that. That's easier than standing.
Are you quite happy to have a personal challenge and a goal that you will all get at least
20 people.
100?
I think some of us
That sounds too much like a quote.
20.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, if you can all get a minimum of 20 people, and I send it out, thank you. Any other way that, well, somebody suggested that cost of vouchers would be a good incentive. But if people fill it in because of you, you've got to identify that it comes from you. So if 100 people log on themselves, go to the online survey and fill it in, you might both take credit for that. So that's the only challenge. But we'll see if we can incentivise in a little way. Any other ways that you can think of? I'll be sending out an email contact. Send me your emails. Merry Christmas. I'll send you the presentation.
So, well, I have to. You want to say something? I want to ask her a question. You have a question for me.
Yes, question.
What actually is this new strategy?
The new strategy, at the moment, there is a teach and learning strategy. Did you know that?
Yes.
It says, as a university, this is what we aim to achieve in teaching our students. So, for example, the new one talks about employability, community, transformative learning. Pardon? What do you mean?
That teacher thing we talked about.
Oh, hold on.
Teaching faculty meeting, things that have been brought up. Can we attend? Can we be? Are we allowed to?
Well, your opinions are as valid as the people you represent. you know, so absolutely, it's just a case of trying to get. I'll send you out the document that says this is where we're heading, but it's saying that every student that leaves us should have had a comparable experience, so that anybody in the future says, oh, you're from Coventry, you will have had an opportunity to do this, to see that.
I think what you're saying is there's some kind of open meeting where a summary of what's being proposed can be discussed by students.
Would you like one? I mean,
Well,
I held...
Personally, I would. I'm not sure about anybody else, because a lot of us don't read the emails, but I usually glance at it, even if
Yeah.
it's bulletin.
Right,
Tells you what
so if I set up some open meetings across January, if I do twilight, early morning, lunchtime, what's best, what's worst?
I can take email now, and may contact you.
I'll do all three. I did a twilight one over in the hub, and we laid on food and everything, and I had 34 people turn up. There's a lot of food left over.
I'll happily finish it.
It's gone off by now. You know, so, but yes, so actually have something for the reps so that you can engage, you can understand the process in week 1, and then you're better prepared to take it out for the rest of the month. Thank you for that. I'll do that.
Okay, fantastic. It's been wonderful having you guys. I have to give a special thank you to you lot who decided to stay to the very end.
Celebration dance.
So yeah, just for a moment, I was thinking, imagining me just being here and having to talk to myself. All your points have been taken. I have these sheets here. So even though I know probably you think we didn't touch and everything, but I tried to summarize the questions so just to save time. I'll be taking the sheets with me and try to detail it, you know, just write out the points on the sheet of paper and still send it forward to the deanery and to the registrars and to the HODs, the heads of departments who are here today. And yeah, just be rest assured that the faculty and the university as a whole is doing everything possible to make the student experience a lot pleasurable and much better. I reckon some of you here are first year students. Most of you guys first year. Is it a happy dance? Okay. So once again, thank you all for coming and have a fantastic holidays. Merry Christmas.